Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Nothing to See Here podcast. Hi, it's Frankie.
It's Hannah.
Frankie, before we get into today's episode,
Yeah.
does Hannah know that Jay Leno visited Greensburg?
I am aware, and I'm also aware that he fell down at basically a cliff and hurt himself.
Well, we know where he fell. He fell.
Figured it out.
You know where Dino's is, right, Hannah?
Yes.
That's where the hotel that's right next to Dino's and that very little hill that's there?
Yeah.
That's where he fell. That's where he fell.
Yeah, the place that you're not supposed to walk?
Yeah, he walked on that hill.
People literally told him, no, stick to the road or call a car.
Yeah, dude, you're Jay fucking Leno. You can't afford to call a car?
I have to give some credit to Catherine, because we found out about this, last Wednesday.
I told everyone about this this past Wednesday at D&D.
Yeah, Catherine proceeded to then put in our little chat a little screenshot of some messages that she sent. She said, "Bro ate it trying to go to Dino's," and a picture of Jay Leno's very bruised, eye-patched face. And then somebody below said, "Dino's slaps." Catherine then replied, "I know. Look how hard it hit him."
Good job, Catherine.
I have to stop laughing at it.
Dino's is good, I will say. I enjoy Dino's.
Oh, it's delicious. I have bad memories of Dino's.
Yeah, but those are bad personal memories. Their food is great.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the restaurant.
No, it's a sports bar. Sports restaurant, which is fine and dandy, even though I don't sport. And the food is good and everything.
Before we get into this episode.
This racism?
Yeah. Those of you who look at our Instagram, and I assume Hannah has posted the story. Maybe she hasn't. We're recording on Skype now.
I didn't post tonight.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I'll let everyone know. You can't what?
I can't see Amanda's fun name. It's very teeny tiny. It doesn't pick up well.
Well, it says the dog is fine, Hannah.
Where's your comma?
Fuck off.
But we're recording on Skype now, so if there's any audio differences, well, I'll find out when I'm editing. But that's why we have been, for all of our episodes before this, recording on Zoom using my law school email account, and I haven't looked at that email in such a long time. I don't know if they give you a warning that you can reclaim it, like our Seton Hill email addresses, or they just don't. But my Duquesne email is no longer active. So,
wait, is the Seton Hill one still active?
No.
Oh yeah, my Seton Hill, mine is.
Yours is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine is too.
I thought they just deleted them after 5 years.
No, they send you an email after the 5 years when it's coming up. And they're like, hey, we're deactivating your account. If you would like to keep it active, please just click this link. So I just clicked the link, and then they do that now like every 6 months or a year.
Mm-hmm.
They send that same email out, and I just click the link to keep it active.
Yeah. Do we not have Zoom on Seton Hill?
Well, the issue is our email addresses are so old that we can't get into the new features from Seton Hill. So I can't log on to my shoe from Seton Hill.
No, I can log on to my shoe.
It won't let me. It will not let me.
This is bull. We're gonna do some finicking.
So if Skype works, we'll be using Skype from now on.
And if it doesn't, we're just gonna pay for something.
We'll figure something out.
So,
but we are here. Even technical difficulties couldn't. Man, even the podcast, like our recording services, do not want us to do this episode.
Shut up.
This was a sign.
The universe said no.
Because I was like, okay, Zoom doesn't work. Oh, wait, I remember recording a podcast with our friend Sasha and their partner Evan. I remember doing that, and they used a thing, I forget what it's called now, but I remember texting them about it the last time I had difficulties with my Duquesne account. Let's go to that, and they've been like sold or bought by a different company, so you have to pay there. And then I was like, well, you know what? I know that the website we use to upload the episodes they always keep saying, oh, use Riverside. So I was like, we'll use Riverside. But they don't tell you got to pay for Riverside, so we had to pay for that. We tried to use Teams, and Teams wouldn't let you record unless you have a certain license. Tried to use Google. That also would not let me record. Don't know why. Just wouldn't. So we are now using Skype, the better of all those sites.
I'm gonna look into Riverside.
We might not need it. Skype's working fine.
Oh my god, it's $24 a month. That's not bad at all.
But like, how many hours do you get? Because like sometimes they restrict you on
15
your
hours
hours.
of multi-track recording. No limits on edits, trim, track, tune.
How many is that a month? 15 hours a month?
I don't know.
Honestly, $24 a month, that's too much.
It's too much for us. Do you know how much money we're making a month on this show, Amanda? I can look at the books right now and tell you. It's zero. I've got the books in front of me. It's $0 a month.
They have AI voice, so we can generate speech in our own voice.
I don't want that.
They have a teleprompter for the host.
We don't script anything.
You know what my script is? Microsoft Word. And it works just fine as a teleprompter.
I take like some notes, but it's not scripted out. I just have bullet point notes.
It's $15 a month.
We're not.
No,
we're
not
just
worth
doing
it.
Skype. When we start making some money, then we'll upgrade. All right.
Well, Christmas is just around the corner, Franklin.
Okay. We still haven't made any money. We're going to do an episode today that I will look back on in my years and be like, why did I do this? Why did I agree to do a podcast?
I think
to talk about this.
I do think that we need to be very careful on how we do this episode. Just because if we do make it big, I feel like this would be the episode that people are going to look back on and be like, wow, they're problematic.
No, because I think everything we have to say about today's film is going to be negative.
Oh, it's very negative. The only good thing I have to say is the acting capability of Uncle Remus. Phenomenal.
Name the actor. Name the actor. Don't name the character.
Well, I don't want to spoil it yet. I want to get into it.
You just did.
Naming an actor isn't a spoiler.
You're a spoiler.
Naming a character is more
James
a spoiler.
Basket. There. Happy?
Not really, because we're still going to have to talk about the movie. But
Do you just want to...
just rip the Band-Aid off. Amanda,
Yeah.
What are we doing tonight?
Alright, we're talking about Song of the South. There is a reason why Splash Mountain is no longer Splash Mountain and it is now Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
There's a reason why this movie doesn't exist.
I mean,
anywhere.
It does exist. It's just not for sale.
Yeah, they don't sell it. It's not on the network.
Actually, we're gonna talk about it. I got so much history about this movie. So, Song of the South, made in 1946, is an American live-action animated musical comedy drama film, directed by Harve Foster and Wilfred Jackson, produced by Walt Disney, and released by RKO Radio Pictures. It is based on the Uncle Remus stories. For those of you who don't know, the Uncle Remus stories were written by Joel Chandler Harris, who was an American journalist and folklorist. The movie stars James Baskett in his final film role, and features the voices of Johnny Lee, Baskett, and Nick Stewart as Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, and Brer Bear. The film takes place in the U.S. state of Georgia during the Reconstruction era. So this is a period of American history after the end of the American Civil War and the abolition of slavery. A lot of people, I think, are under the notion that this took place before the Civil War.
I thought they were all enslaved.
You wouldn't be able to tell it took place after the Civil War.
Yeah, it is set during the Reconstruction era. The story follows 7-year-old Johnny, who is visiting his grandmother,
Fuck that kid.
his grandmother's plantation, for an extended stay. Johnny befriends Uncle Remus, an elderly worker on the plantation, and takes joy in hearing his tales about Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, and Brer Bear. Johnny learns from the stories how to cope with challenges he is experiencing while living on the plantation. Walt Disney made this film because he
God
wanted
damn it, Walt.
Yeah, okay. Alright, let's just get it out now. This film exists. Just let me get through this, guys. Alright? He wanted to produce a film based on the Uncle Remus stories for some time, I guess. In 1939, he began negotiating with the Harris family for film rights, and in 1944, filming for Song of the South began. The studio constructed a plantation set for outdoor scenes in Phoenix, Arizona, while other scenes were filmed in Hollywood. The film is predominantly live action, but it includes 3 animated segments which were later released as standalone television features, which is why I remember some of this shit. Some scenes also feature a combination of live action with animation, as we've kind of seen before in some of the other movies we've watched. Song of the South premiered in Atlanta in November 1946, and the remainder of its initial theater run was a financial success. The song Zippity Doo-Dah won the 1947 Academy Award for Best Original Song, and Baskett received an Academy Honorary Award for his performance as Uncle Remus. He should have won an Academy Award, but I'm not going to get into that. Since its initial release, the film has attracted controversy, with critics characterizing its portrayal of African Americans and plantation life as racist. I'm going to say, yeah, I 100% agree with these critics. As a result of the film's controversial legacy, Disney has not released Song of the South on any home video format in the United States, and the film has never been available on its streaming platform Disney+. Some of the musical and animated sequences have been released through other means, and the full film has seen home video distribution in other countries. The cartoon characters from the film continued to appear and contributed to a variety of books, comics, and other Disney media for decades after the film's release. The theme park ride Splash Mountain, which was located in Disneyland and Magic Kingdom, is now replaced with Tiana's Bayou Adventure, but there is a Splash Mountain that still stands at Tokyo Disneyland. So we kind of talked about how this film has had some pretty big controversy. Cultural historian Jason Sperb, S-P-E-R-B, describes the film as one of Hollywood's most resiliently offensive racist texts. This film's release was during the wake of the Double V campaign, which was a campaign in the United States during World War II to promote victory over racism in the United States and its armed forces, and victory over fascism in general. Not the greatest looking back.
No, because the soldiers, the African American soldiers that came back, still experience, racism and segregation.
Yeah.
We haven't defeated racism today.
Releasing it during this time was obviously not they weren't just like, oh, what a coinky dink.
We are coming off the back of all of Disney's other propaganda films, so why not another one?
Yeah. So it is propaganda in that, like, we won and racism's not a thing, but it's totally a thing. And now that, like, we can
it's
see
totally a thing, as evidenced by this movie.
Yeah, exactly. So
it kind of feels like Disney was reminding African Americans, for lack of a better term, where they came from in America.
I get that they wanted to tell Uncle Remus's stories, but I think they could have done that without this whole, like, plantation set and scene. Just give me the animated sequences, please.
They could have just done that. They could have just made it an animated animal film.
Yeah, with just, like, the stories of Brer Rabbit, like, from Uncle Remus's, like, tales, like the book, right? Harris's book. That would have been fine.
They could have even done the live action anthology vibe and just had the actor who portrays Uncle Remus sitting down and telling children these stories.
Yeah, right. He could have just been a nice old guy who's like a neighbor. So Disney likes to brush this movie under the rug for obvious reasons. At one point, Disney, the company, had to come out and state that this movie is just like Harris's book, saying that the film takes place just like in Harris's book after the American Civil War, and that all of the African American characters in the movie are no longer slaves. They are choosing to work there.
If you have to make that statement, you messed up. You've made mistakes.
It's also just worthy to note that the final film carried no such statement. Or like even a, set in 18 something something after the, blah blah blah. Like nothing.
No, because they knew what they were doing.
Adam Clayton Powell Jr., who is a congressman, or was a congressman, from Harlem, branded the film as an insult to American minorities and everything that America as a whole stands for. The National Negro Congress set up picket lines in theaters in the big cities where the film was being played, with protesters holding signs that read, "Song of the South is an insult to Negro people," and lampooning Jingle Bells, chanting, Disney tells, lies about the South." That was really good. On April 2nd,
they ain't wrong.
They're not wrong. On April 2nd, 1947, a group of protesters marched around Oakland, California's Paramount Theater with picket signs reading, "We want films on democracy, not slavery, and don't prejudice children's mind with films like this." The National Jewish Post scorned the fact that the film's lead was not allowed to attend its premiere in Atlanta because of his race.
Are you serious?
I am dead serious.
But remember, according to the movie, we've beaten racism.
We've beaten
Racism doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, we've beaten it back.
But sorry, you're not allowed to come to the premiere.
According to Valerie Stewart, who is the daughter of Nick Stewart is the voice of Brer Bear in the film. The NAACP executive secretary Walter Francis Wright disliked actress Hattie McDaniels. White, a light-skinned black man with blonde hair and blue eyes, according to Valerie Stewart, launched campaigns against McDaniels' films because McDaniels was dark-skinned, and she alleged that Song of the South was targeted because of White's prejudice against McDaniels. There are people who were in the film that did not view the film as racist. Nick Stewart, being a black man, was one. His daughter, allegedly, according to this, said that all of this hate was directed from this one dude in the NAACP, all because he disliked Hattie McDaniel, who we should all respect. Hattie McDaniel, she won Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, being the first African American woman to win an Oscar. If I remember correctly, and I'm doing research on this, I kind of came across, like, little blurbs about it, where the actor said, like, if we thought we were promoting racism, we wouldn't have been in it. But people later on came out and said they also weren't shown the final cut until it was premiered, and some of them weren't even allowed to be at the premiere. Maybe what they thought was being shown didn't end up as, like, the final cut. Would we like to talk about this?
This movie sucks.
Oh, no, don't say that.
It's bad. Like, every time they go away from the animated stuff, I dreaded it. I was uncomfortable from the beginning of the movie.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah?
Uncle Remus, like James Baskett at the very end, he kind of made me cry a little bit.
I was uncomfortable from the very beginning. The dad, who we barely see, looked abusive.
Oh my god.
I just got the vibe from him.
Well, let me go into the cast. So
Am I the only one who got that vibe?
I don't look at people and go, yep, that's an abuser.
I did not get that vibe, but I did very quickly get that he was MIA, like 90% of the time, which I was proven right on.
Well,
he's MIA from the fucking movie.
We'll
yeah.
discuss that. James Baskett is Uncle Remus. Bobby Driscoll as Johnny. Does anybody know who Bobby Driscoll is?
The name's familiar, but
He is
Yeah.
the voice of Peter Pan.
that's not what I would know him for. Did he do anything else?
Yeah, he was in Treasure Island. He did Peter Pan. He's in So Dear to My Heart as well. Let me look. Let me see what else he's done.
I know why his name is familiar. And it's because he died very young.
He died at 31, yes.
Yeah.
Kind of like all child stars in the era. Drugs.
Yeah. You said Peter Pan, and that was the missing piece I needed to connect the dots.
Yeah, you're welcome. Luana Patton as Ginny Favors. We will see Luana later on in Fun and Frenzy Free and Melody Time, along with Bobby Driscoll, who is in Melody Time as well. Glenn Leedy as Toby. Ruth Warwick as Sally, a bitch of a mother. Lucille Watson as the grandmother. And Hattie McDaniels as Aunt Tempe. The voice cast, Johnny Lee as Briar Rabbit. James Baskett as Briar Fox. He also did Briar Rabbit in the Laughing Place segment. And Nick Stewart as Briar Bear. Let's talk about this movie. So the film is set on a plantation in Georgia, specifically located some distance away from Atlanta. Again, didn't take place before the Civil War, the Reconstruction era, allegedly. The film makes several indirect references to the Reconstruction era. Clothing is in the newer late Victorian style. Uncle Remus is free to leave the plantation at will. And the field hands are sharecroppers. Sharecropping is a legal arrangement where landowners allow a tenant to use the land in return for a share of crops produced on that land.
Yes, when we continued slavery, but just didn't call it slavery.
We
Correct.
put a bow on it.
Correct. So let's talk. First of all, I know this was made in like a different time, however, and I'm definitely not blaming the kids, but man, oh man, if somebody put this like script in front of me, I'd be like, I'm good. I don't know if I want to do that. So 7-year-old Johnny, he apparently is 7. He does not look 7 to me. He looks like he's like 5. 7-year-old Johnny is excited about what he believes to be a vacation at his grandmother's Georgia plantation with his parents, Sally and John Sr. John Sr. apparently looking like an abuser, according to Franklin.
No, he just looks like an absentee father, which was the point.
I mean, yes, very much so. It's alluded to, I guess, in the scene, while they're in the carriage, that, the house they're going to is Sally's mother's house. So Johnny's maternal grandmother. But that John Sr. also was around Uncle Remus, who worked at this plantation, lived on the plantation site, and heard Uncle Remus's stories along with Sally. Uncle Remus has been around a long time, and the kid thinks that Uncle Remus is like mystical in a way. He's like, is he real? Like,
no, Johnny, he's a cryptid.
Yeah, like he was very confused about that. When they arrive at the plantation, though, Johnny discovers that his father will be leaving, and him and his mother will be staying at his grandmother's place. They're going to be living apart temporarily. The reason why they're going to be living apart is because Johnny's father needs to return to Atlanta to continue his controversial editorship of that city's newspaper. I wonder what's so controversial.
They never answer that. They do. They say when they're in the carriage ride, they were like, oh, I put something in the newspaper. It didn't go over well. And they never bring it up again.
Johnny's upset that his dad's just abandoning him. As any kid would be, I'm sure. This one didn't say, hey, you know what, I'm just gonna go out and get cigarettes, and never came back, straight up said, hey, I'm gonna be gone for a while. He's really sad about his dad leaving, So Johnny plans to run away and leave for Atlanta, but he goes with a bindle. He took a bindle. So as Johnny is sneaking away... Okay, before I forget, the grandmother seems somewhat chill, which is fine, I guess. But then immediately, like, puts Toby in charge of Johnny, was like, you need to watch over this kid. If he gets in trouble, you get him out of trouble. That's like hiring a kid to babysit a kid.
This is another reason I thought this film did take place before the Civil War. I thought Toby was basically forced to hang out with Johnny.
I mean, it makes sense. In a way, I feel like he kind of was. And then he got in trouble when he ran away, too.
Like, I thought Toby was Johnny's servant, basically.
Yeah, not great. When Johnny is sneaking away from the plantation, he discovers Uncle Remus telling tales of a character named Briar Rabbit to other sharecroppers on the plantation. By this time, word had gotten out that Johnny was missing, and the plantation residents are looking for him. This is where you see that apparently Toby is in trouble for losing track of Johnny. Not Toby's fault. It's the middle of the night. He was with his mom. Why'd his mom let him sneak out? That sounds like a mom problem. Okay. I sleepwalk and I leave the house. You know why I don't end up leaving the house? It's because my mom is vigilant. Johnny evades being discovered by everyone except Uncle Remus. Uncle Remus catches up with him and offers food for the journey and basically says, hey, if you're going to go to Atlanta, I'm going to go to Atlanta with you. But we're going to need food if we're going to go to Atlanta. It takes him back to his cabin, where he then tells Johnny about Briar Rabbit and how Briar Rabbit escaped a rabbit trap by telling Briar Bear that he was making $1 a minute as a scarecrow. This is where we get the only good part of the film, aside from James Bassett's performance. Zippity-doo-dah. Goddamn, is this a catchy song. And I think I texted you guys at one point while I was watching this that this movie has some bangers. And maybe that's just because I grew up riding Splash Mountain, but damn, they are catchy. I'm gonna have Zippity-doo-dah in my head forever. Briar Rabbit also, I forgot to mention, the whole reason Briar Rabbit got trapped in the little rabbit trap was because he was running away from home. He ended up changing his mind after, almost being eaten. After hearing the story, Johnny does end up taking Uncle Remus's advice, and he goes back to the plantation, to his mom, walking with Uncle Remus and Toby. Uncle Remus doesn't come clean, though, and is like, oh, I was telling him a story, and I lost track of time. I'm so sorry. Doesn't say that, oh yeah, your kid was trying to run away. So I get he was trying to, do a solid, but also, man, protect yourself. This woman's so mean. I hate this woman so much. Johnny has, his, friend for hire, Toby. He also meets a girl named Ginny Favors. She's a poor girl, growing up with 2 psychopath brothers. Her psychopathic older brothers, Joe and Jake, have a puppy and threaten to drown her puppy because it's a runt. And at
that
this
puppy was normal size.
Yeah, it was perfectly fine. At this point, Hannah watched this yesterday.
Correct. And no one responded to my text.
Me and Frankie were busy watching Lucifer.
I couldn't respond because I didn't know what happened to the dog. I've never seen this movie.
I was very scared this dog was going to die.
Yeah, Hannah, what did you text me?
I think I texted you something along the lines of, so help me God, Amanda, if this dog dies, I'm going to beat you up.
Amanda, I swear to God, if this dog dies in Song of the South, I'm going to beat you up. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I was very close.
I proceeded to text you guys about the poor frog that Toby was just fucking holding on. That poor frog was just being put in that little bucket over and over and over again, that bowl. And then he was put on a kid's head, a bunch of times. That poor frog. And then I asked who these fucking serial killers are, these 2 older brothers that I was just talking about, because they're threatening to drown a puppy. Was this a normal thing back in this time? Where you would just go
was.
out and drown puppies just for fun?
It wasn't for fun, but like, I think that the runts would be killed, yeah.
Yeah.
I get the runts would be killed, but why are we drowning them?
That's
Because it was humane.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was seen as being a humane way to kill it.
Oh
It
God.
it obviously is not a humane way to kill
If you kill a puppy, I will kill you.
a puppy.
Oh my God.
And they shouldn't have. But that's what happened back then, especially with poorer families if they couldn't afford to feed them. The run of because dogs were back then were not for like obviously they were pets and companions, but they were mainly for
hunting
and their usefulness, and the run to the litter would not be as useful, so they were killed. But I think the problem is these two kids are really fucking excited to kill a dog.
Yeah, like really
too
excited.
happy about it. And 2, dog wasn't that small.
3, it's also their sister's dog.
That's why they want to off it.
Yeah, here's the thing.
It's not because the dog was small.
Yeah, it's because they're sisters. They fucking hate their sister. Like, I get, like, little boys, like, I have cousins, right? I get, like, boys and stuff, like, you know, picking on little sisters and stuff. Like, maybe pulling their pigtails a little bit and stuff. You know, that's, like, the worst of it. This is fucking hatred. They fucking hate this girl. And their parents just seem fine with it. Like, they're raising 2 little psychopaths.
Honestly, I feel like the parents have given up with the boys. Because, like, the few times, like, the mom is seen, she is very kind to her daughter.
Right.
And even when we see the father for, like, a brief second later on in the film, like, he picks her up and hugs her and, like, swings her around, and she's insanely happy to see him. I think they know that their sons are a lost cause. But they can't really do anything because it's the 1870s or whatever.
This got me more worked up than whenever I first read about the first chapter of Charlotte's Web, where what's her name's dad is gonna fucking kill Wilbur with an axe. You remember that? That we read in like first grade? So Ginny ends up giving the completely normal sized dog.
Jenny is smart. She says, "Hello, rich child, please save my puppy."
She gives it to Johnny and is like, as long as you take care of it, you can have him. Johnny goes to his mom, and Sally, this bitch of a woman, refuses to let him take care of the puppy and tells him to take it back where he found it. So he takes it to Uncle Remus. Uncle Remus takes the dog in and delights Johnny and his friend with the fable of Brer Rabbit and the Tar Baby. Basically, Uncle Remus takes in this dog, not knowing that Johnny's mom said, nah, you can't keep it. When these boys come on, this whole fucking just bothers the fucking shit out of me. Uncle Remus is taking care of the dog, and these boys come up to Uncle Remus, this older man, who could whoop their ass, and is trying to take his dog to drown it, saying that it's their dog. And he's like, no, this ain't your dog. I would beat those kids with a cane. My cane. Anyway, they just are giving Johnny and Toby and Ginny a hard time, and Ginny's like, I talked to my mom. My mom said that if I wanted to give my dog to you, that it's yours. Uncle Remus ends up talking to Johnny about not getting involved in something that they have no business getting involved in the first place. In this fable, Brer Rabbit is just going around merry way. Everything's good, everything's nice. He's saying hello and people are saying hi back. Brer Fox and Brer Bear are like, oh, Brer Bear doesn't really do it, but Brer Fox is like, we're gonna trick this guy. And they make a little tar baby. It's just a dummy made out of tar. And they put it on a log and put a little jacket on it, some hair, and cross its arms. So when Brer Rabbit walks by and says hello, and this dummy doesn't say hello, Brer Rabbit gets upset and is gonna punch this person for just not saying hello. People have said hi to me and I have not said hello before. That doesn't mean I'm, like, asking to get punched. I don't know you, sir. Did anybody else find that weird? Was it just me?
No, I found it weird too.
Okay.
Like, I will walk by, say hello, oh, they didn't say hi back, whatever.
Right. I'm not
Like,
gonna be like,
I have worked in retail for so many years that someone just not saying hello and ignoring me, like, that's a good day.
It'd be different if it was like you or Frankie, right? If I said hello to Frankie and Frankie ignored me, and I did it this many times that this rabbit did it, I might punch Frankie. Frankie, are you still there?
I'm here. I have so little to say about this movie because not only is this movie racist, it fucking sucks as well. It's a bad movie and racist.
I'm not asking you to say more about the movie. I'm asking you to say something about the fact that I would punch you if you didn't say hi to me.
I have nothing to say to that. I'm just taking notes on all the violence you keep threatening against me repeatedly.
Anyway, Brer Rabbit ends up getting stuck in the tar dummy or whatever, because he punches it, and it's tar. And he ends up getting stuck, but he manages to get out of it by using reverse psychology and convincing Brer Fox to throw him in the briar patch. When he gets thrown in the briar patch, it's fine because he's a rabbit and he was born in the briar patch. He can just hop around and nothing bad happens. Johnny later imitates reverse psychology, Brer Rabbit's use of reverse psychology, from the story, and tells the brothers not to tell their mother about the dog. You can tell my mom, you can tell my grandma, but please don't tell your mom. It's gonna be bad. So what do? They go and tell their mom, and their mom is pissed. As I would be too. Honestly, if I was their mom, nowadays, I'd be like, y'all, you want to drown a puppy? I'm taking you somewhere. We need therapy. They end up getting in trouble. However, to get revenge, they end up telling Sally, the mom, Johnny's mom, about the dog. Sally becomes upset that Johnny and Uncle Remus kept the dog despite her orders. Even though Uncle Remus had no idea that she told Johnny that she couldn't keep the dog. She tells Uncle Remus not to tell any more stories to Johnny.
Why?
Why
does no one ever say, hey, Sally, these kids wanted to drown this puppy, so I saved it? That's a whole different story than being like, hey, this random kid gave me a puppy.
No, here's the thing. With the way this woman is in this movie, Sally, something tells me you could tell her that they were going to drown the puppy and she'd still be like, yeah, no. She's blaming a guy telling stories for stupid things. Her own fucking misgivings. Right? She lost her own kid. It's not Uncle Remus's fault. Also, why aren't the adults communicating? I don't know about you guys, but when I was a kid, nobody fucking took my word for anything. Unless it was, like, super serious. My mom was if I was hanging out at somebody's house, my mom was in talks with that person's parent. Like, I couldn't get away with shit. So Johnny's birthday arrives, and Johnny asks his mom and his grandmother, hey, can I invite Ginny? And his mom is like, oh man, nah, not Ginny, there's gonna be too many.
No poor people allowed at this party.
That's basically what the mom was getting at. She's poor, blah, 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 she shouldn't come, blah, blah, blah. And the grandma, fucking saving grace, was just like, she's like, oh, there's gonna be so many kids at the party, and then the grandma cuts in and she's like, so it's not gonna be a bother if there's one more. And the grandmother this whole time was telling, like, the mom, her daughter, hey, don't take away the stories. That's a bad idea. Don't do that. This dude doesn't have a father figure. He kinda needs one right now. He also needs fucking friends.
So Johnny should really be undermining his mom and going straight to Grandma.
Really. Honestly. Grandma seemed legit. Like, I wish
Grandma would say, we're saving this puppy.
it's Johnny's birthday. Johnny goes to pick up Ginny and take her to his party. She looks all dolled up. Her mom worked so hard on this dress, right? It was her mom's wedding dress that she crafted into this little party dress. That is adorable. However, Ginny has 2 fucking psychopath brothers. While Johnny and Ginny are walking to the party, Joe and Jake end up pushing Ginny into a mud puddle. Her dress gets mud on it, and Ginny is unable to go to the party and runs off crying. And Johnny begins fighting with the boys. By the way, this fighting, I don't know what to call this. This was so bad. Just one person laying on top of another person. Like, I got nothing. I know they're kids fighting, but you could have at least made it look a little bit better. Anyway, the fight is broken up by Uncle Remus, who ends up reprimanding the brothers and warns them to stay away from Johnny and Ginny. Gonna be real hard because Ginny is, their sister. Johnny ends up running to comfort Ginny, and explains that he also doesn't want to go to the party because his dad's not gonna be there. He tries to tell her about Brer Rabbit, but just makes her cry more. So Uncle Remus comes over and is like, y'all, you are not telling the story right. I'm gonna cheer you up and tell you the story. And tells them the story of Brer Rabbit and his laughing place. Brer Rabbit was caught again and managed to trick his way out of it by convincing Brer Bear that there was a laughing place. Everybody has a laughing place, and he could take them to a laughing place. Trick was, he took them to a place that had a beehive, and Brer Fox and Brer Bear got hit with beehive. Brer Bear's like, oh no, you said this was a laughing place, and Brer Rabbit's like, I didn't say it was your laughing place, this is my laughing place, and continued to laugh at their misery of being stung by bees. As they are returning back to the plantation, Sally gets pretty angry at Johnny for missing his party, which, to be fair, I get. I get that one. I get you being angry at your kid for ditching his own birthday party that you worked probably hard on. Or you paid people to work hard on. Or that you didn't pay to work hard on, I should say. And ends up telling Uncle Remus to stay away from Johnny. 'Cause it's Uncle Remus's fault he didn't go to the party.
She never questions why he comes home covered in mud.
Yeah, she doesn't. He's just dirty and stuff. And she's not like, why are you dirty? She's just like, Uncle Remus's fault. Racism is strong in this woman. So Uncle Remus is sad that his good intentions were misunderstood and starts packing to leave for Atlanta. Toby runs into Uncle Remus packing and hears that he's leaving and ends up telling Johnny. No, Johnny comes to Uncle Remus's shack to ask for something, notices he's not there, and then Toby's like, hey, he's going away. He's leaving. Toby also tells Sally that Uncle Remus is leaving, and she's starting to be like, oh, why is he leaving? I don't know why he's leaving. That's not good. I don't want him to leave. Even though she doesn't want him to hang out with her son, she doesn't want him to leave. Uncle Remus is getting onto a wagon. As the wagon is pulling forward, Johnny's like, I'm gonna cut through this pasture, right? I'm gonna intercept Uncle Remus, cut through this pasture, have a little shortcut or whatever. This pasture is housing a bull, and Johnny is wearing fucking red. Like, bright red. He ends up being attacked by the bull and is seriously injured.
This scene made me laugh.
Did it really?
Yeah, this is fucking hilarious.
All you just see is him running and the bull, like, following behind, and all of a sudden you hear a scream as you see, like, the mom's face. And
I did not expect them to show a wide shot of the kid running and the bull chasing after him. Like, I thought it would be all cuts and then the scream. But seeing a kid run away from a bull was fucking funny as shit.
It's pretty good. And I wonder if you can get a gif of this.
I wouldn't be able to post it to Instagram.
Damn it. What gets me is, he looks like he's in the middle of the fucking pasture, but he manages to, like, make it to a fence before his mother, like, drags him out from underneath the fence.
How fast was this child, or how slow was this bull?
This bull didn't look like it was booking it. this doesn't seem safe. What were the child labor laws like? Like, this didn't seem great. So, as Johnny is, like, hovering, I guess, between dying or not.
He should be dead. He should have died.
He should have,
no
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
His dad ends up returning.
I did think he died, by the way. I did write, damn, Disney just killed this kid with Chekhov's bull. I did not see that coming.
You really thought he died?
I did. I thought he died.
What was gonna be the moral of the story, Frankie?
There's no moral to this fucking story at all. This movie is bad.
It might be 1% good if he actually died.
There's no point in this movie existing.
Anyway, the dad shows up, and there's just a prayer vigil happening outside of the house. The dad goes up to Toby, and Toby tells him, yo, your kid got hit by a bull. He's upstairs. He and his wife and his grandmother are all there, right? His wife, his mother-in-law, I guess, and himself are there with Johnny as he's laying in bed with a cloth over him. And he's just mumbling incoherently. And then all of a sudden, he says Uncle Remus, and he just keeps talking about Uncle Remus. So finally, the grandma's like, I've had enough of this shit. You guys are terrible parents. I'm gonna do what I need to do. So she goes downstairs, and she's like, Uncle Remus, come up here for a minute. And he comes up, and he starts telling Johnny a story about Brer Rabbit. We really don't know what the story's about. And all of a sudden, Johnny wakes up. He miraculously survives. Everybody's happy. Right. And then Uncle Remus.
Who else miraculously survives?
Uncle Remus?
The bull. They show that bull in the final scene of the movie. That bull's still alive.
I would have thought that bull would have been shot. Cut to, later on, a fully recovered Johnny is singing Zippity Doo-Dah with Ginny and Toby, while Johnny's puppy is also running alongside them.
Thank God.
And it was like, that dog better be around here.
We didn't see, after Uncle Remus learned the truth about the dog, you don't see the puppy again for a good 40 minutes. I was like, they killed it. The little psychopaths did it. And then, right at the end, you see the puppy.
Nearby, Uncle Remus is hanging out, but he's shocked whenever Brer Rabbit and several other characters from his story appear in front of the kids and start interacting with them. Uncle Remus rushes over to join them, and together they all walk into the sunset.
They're actually all dead.
They actually all died.
God, this movie fucking sucks.
Don't say that. The animated sequences, I think, were awesome.
This movie sucks.
You know what the best part of the film was?
The animated sequences?
No, I was going to say when Uncle Remus is singing and they do the live action mixed with the 2D.
That was really cool. Come on.
That was the only good part.
Because
out of context, that's just a lovely little song.
Yeah, but you can't, Amanda, you can't say a movie's good because, like, one little part of it is good.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying, can you at least acknowledge that there was a nice part somewhere in this?
The animation was good. Movie sucked.
Yeah, thank you.
But the movie sucked.
That's fine.
The movie's bad.
That's fine, Frankie. Does anybody have anything else they want to say before we rank this bitch? We made it. We made it past the racism.
Oh, I did have one comment. I was, you know how Hannah and I have been complaining about the fact that, like, we've only been watching anthology films? If this is what they're gonna be making, though, damn, go back to the anthology films, please.
This also still felt like an anthology film.
A bit.
I respect that they were mixing live action and animation back in 1946.
I'm still peeved that James Baskett didn't get to go to the fucking premiere, even though he starred in it.
Anyway, should we put Song of the South right at the bottom of this ranking list?
Can you give me the ranking list, please?
We have 11 movies. The last 5?
The last 5.
You're not seriously thinking of putting this anywhere but the bottom, are you?
Just let me hear it.
Three Caballeros is 7. Make My Music is 8. Reluctant Dragon is 9. Fantasia is 10. Victory Through Air Power is 11.
It goes below Victory Through Air Power, for sure.
Thank God.
However, I wanted you to read those to me because I'm debating something.
What are you debating?
I'm debating switching Fantasia and the Reluctant Dragon.
We making changes to the list? Is this legal?
I don't know. Is it legal? I wanted to ask you that.
I mean,
This is Amanda's list more than
this
it
is
is
your
ours.
list, yes.
How do we feel about this change?
I would agree with that. I found the Reluctant Dragon worse than a Fantasia. I think Fantasia should be higher.
All right, can you make that change happen, Frankie?
I mean, yeah, I can.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
No. Did you guys seriously think I was gonna put it higher?
You scared me for a minute.
No, I
Yeah.
I did want to make a switcheroo, but that's not why.
I have Letterboxd now, just so I can keep track of all the movies I watch in a year. I gave this half a star. This is the lowest rating you can give. You can't give 0 stars. Maybe you can, I don't know. I haven't seen that you can give 0 stars, but I did give Song of the South half a star,
Wonderful.
which is the lowest you can give.
So this film had a protagonist.
Did it?
Yeah, it was Johnny.
Fuck Johnny. Johnny sucks.
Technically, it's Johnny.
It is Johnny. I think the film's villain is racism.
The Psychopathic brothers.
I don't know. The mom is kind of villainous too.
It's
Okay,
really-
the mom never said, let's kill a puppy. I think the Psychopathic brothers are number one.
They're not the number one Disney villain.
Yes, they are.
We're actually, I don't know if we need to put the protagonist or the villain on this list. I don't think it's even worthy of it.
I don't think that should be represented, no.
The music.
You get one song.
It's Zippity Doodah, man.
Well, obviously. So where do we want to rank Zippity Doodah?
What is the music ranking?
Hi-Ho is 5. April Showers from Bambi is 4. When I See an Elephant Fly is 3. The Three Caballeros song is 2. And When You Wish Upon a Star is number 1.
I think we have to put Zippity Doodah at 2.
At 2?
As much as I fucking hate that this song comes from a racist fucking movie, this song fucking slaps.
Honestly, I think it should be 1, because I'm more likely to bop to this than When You Wish Upon a Star.
I can't in good conscience put it at 1. 1, because of the racist connotation, and 2, When You Wish Upon a Star is kind of the most Disney that we've got so far.
It is iconic.
But, damn, Zippity Doodah is a good fucking song. There's a reason why Song of the South and the rides and everything are gone, but Zippity Doodah still plays at the fucking park. It's because it's a fucking good song.
And the animated bit survived well after they tried to hide the movie.
Yeah, no, the animated part was fine. Again,
and Zippity Doodah is part of the
taken out of
animated
context.
bit.
Yeah. I mean, it was taken out of context. I remember, I think, seeing that on cause Radio Disney, you remember Radio Disney would do those things? And I remember seeing, little snippets of it or something.
You saw something on the radio.
No. Do you not remember that they used to do, the Disney radio things where they would show, behind the scenes of them, recording songs for, Disney radio?
Yeah, on Disney Channel.
Yeah.
Not on Radio Disney.
Oh, shut up. Guys, have I got some news for you?
It better be Jimmy Carter's death.
It's not. Since 2020, Disney has disassociated itself from the song due to the long-standing controversy over racial connotations associated with Song of the South, with the song largely being removed from music loops in the company's theme parks and associated resorts in the United States. I fucking heard this song at Disney Springs when I went last year. Either Disney Springs didn't get the memo or somebody played it on accident. Granted, it was like a remixed version of it. So yeah. So we've made it through Song of the South. How do you guys feel knowing that that's the worst movie we're going to be watching?
Terrible, and my soul has been tarnished forever.
Hannah, do you have something positive to say? It's only up from here, guys.
I saw 3 black cats this week.
You did.
They were all very cute.
Frankie, I do have some positive news for you.
Oh, yeah?
The next movie is fun and fancy free.
I do like fun and fancy free.
I know you do. So, you have that to look forward to. But, the next episode is not my episode.
Nope,
yours.
it's me. We're going back to WCW.
Oh no.
More depression time.
Is human piece of sewage on this episode?
I have no idea. I haven't looked into it, but I would presume so.
Oh god, I was hoping he was still dead.
I would presume he's on it.
He wasn't on the last one.
No, but that's because he just had his neck broken. He'll be back.
He had his neck broken?
Remember at the end of All Raw? The
Oh,
giant.
allegedly neck broken. Alright,
Yeah, not
well,
really. In storyline, he had his neck broken.
I was gonna say. I was really hopeful that he did break a neck.
Well, we're gonna go back to WCW, but let's take care of business and wrap this up because we've gone long due to our technical difficulties of trying to find where to record.
Hopefully this works.
As of recording, we are on Spotify and YouTube. If you are listening to us on YouTube, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell for notification when each and every episode goes up. We have a bonus episode in the works, and our usual upload is Wednesday morning, so be ready for that. If you're listening to us on Spotify, remember to leave a rating and a review, and leave an answer to the episode question. What do you think of the episode? The question will not change until we get an answer to that question. If you would like to support us even more, share the episode with your friends, with your family, with your enemies. That would help out a lot. We want to boost those numbers. Yay! Woohoo! All right.
Yeah, so we can pay for a podcasting thing.
Yeah, maybe. If you would like to send us an email with a question to answer, with ideas for episode topics, with your thoughts, your suggestions, any comments you have that you want us to know about, you can do so by sending us an email over at
Nothing to See Here podcast at gmail.com. As always, here is spelled H-E-A-R.
If you would like to see some great artwork done by Amanda, some funny memes created by Hannah, as well as out of context images and just images from things that we talk about on the episodes, you can see all of that over on our Instagram page, which is
Nothing to See Here pod. You can see the Kentucky meat rain over on our Instagram.
Yeah, you did post a picture of the meat that's in the museum in Kentucky.
Yep.
Is it Pablo? Pablo the penguin.
Pablo the penguin and the depressed penguin posse.
And the depressed penguin.
His whole posse of depressed penguins. Well, I think that is all the business to take care of. So, saying goodbye and good night, it's Frankie.
It's Hannah.
Don't watch this film. It's not worth it.
No, it's not worth it. That's an hour and a half of my life gone to racism and a boring movie. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.